Ladies and gentlemen, visionaries and dreamers, let's be honest today. How many of us have sat down, written out a powerful business strategy, and thought, this is it. This is the plan that will change everything. We create spreadsheets, we design frameworks, we map out roadmaps, and yet, months later, the results don't match the vision. Why? Because strategy alone will never scale your business. Strategy is important. It gives you direction. It's the map. But what good is a map without movement? What good is a plan without people, without execution, without the fire of passion behind it? You cannot strategize your way to greatness if you do not have the courage, discipline, and relentless consistency to bring that strategy to life. Scaling a business is not about the brilliance of the document you wrote. It's about the energy, the culture, and the execution that breathe life into it every single day. Think about it. Every great company, every global brand, every empire was not built on strategy alone. It was built on people willing to do the work when no one was watching. It was built on leaders willing to risk failure and still take the next step. It was built on action, on resilience, on grit. Too many entrepreneurs fall in love with the strategy phase because it feels safe. It feels like progress, but the truth is, nothing moves until you move. Nothing grows until you plant, water, and nurture it. You can't scale your business on ideas alone. You scale it on the habits, the systems, and the culture you create daily. Strategy tells you where you're going, but execution decides if you'll get there. Think of it like this: having a strategy without execution is like having a seed without planting it. You can hold on to it, admire it, even dream about the fruit it could produce. But until you put it in the soil, water it, and expose it to the light, it will remain just that, a seed of potential, never realized. So if you want to scale your business, don't just write a plan, live the plan. Build a team that believes in it. Create a culture that sustains it. Stay consistent when it's boring. Stay disciplined when it's hard. And stay hungry when others get comfortable. That's how you transform strategy into success. Remember this: ideas are everywhere, strategies are common, but execution is rare. And it is only through rare execution, fueled by resilience, discipline, and heart, that businesses truly scale. So today, don't just be a strategist. Be a doer, a leader, a builder. Because the world doesn't reward strategy alone. It rewards action, courage, and persistence. That, my friends, is how you scale not just your business, but your life. Every business begins with an idea, a vision of what could be. But an idea, no matter how brilliant, is only a spark. It is action that turns that spark into a fire capable of lighting up an entire industry. Too many people fall in love with strategy because it feels like progress. They draw up detailed plans, map out growth models, and design elegant roadmaps. Yet those documents sit untouched, and the business remains stagnant. The truth is, the world does not reward the best ideas. It rewards those who take bold action. Strategy is your compass, but action is the step-by-step journey that brings you to your destination. Action requires courage because it means stepping into the unknown. It means risking failure, risking judgment, and facing the discomfort of uncertainty. But without it, there is no forward motion. Imagine standing at the edge of a river with a bridge designed perfectly on paper. You know exactly where each piece of wood should go, how strong it should be, and how beautiful it could look. Yet unless you start hammering, sawing, and placing the planks one by one, the bridge will never exist. That is what happens to businesses that cling only to strategy. They hold the blueprint, but never build. Taking action also builds clarity. Sometimes we wait to act until we feel we know everything, until every risk is managed, every question answered. But that day never comes. The best lessons are learned in the doing, not the planning. Action exposes the gaps, reveals the truth, and gives you real, world feedback that strategy alone cannot provide. You cannot steer a parked car. You must be in motion to adjust direction. Likewise, a business cannot grow until it is in motion, learning, adapting, and evolving through action. Momentum is the reward of consistent action. Every step you take compounds into progress. Small moves create ripples that lead to larger waves. A phone call leads to a connection, which leads to a sale, which leads to a partnership, which opens doors to markets you could never have predicted. None of it happens if you don't make the first move. Strategy may outline the possibility, but only action unlocks the reality. Action also separates dreamers from doers. Many people talk about what they want to build. They describe their future empire in detail, but years later, nothing has changed. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is simple: action. Doers may stumble, fail, and fall, but they get up, learn, and continue. Dreamers stay comfortable with their strategies, while doers write their stories with action. If you truly want to scale your business, you must embrace imperfect action. You must be willing to take that first call, launch that product, test that service, and refine as you go. Greatness does not come from waiting until the strategy is flawless. It comes from acting boldly while others hesitate. Strategy shows you the vision, but only action makes it real. Consistency is the invisible force that transforms small actions into massive results. It is easy to start something with excitement and energy, but what truly separates successful businesses from the rest is the ability to keep showing up day after day, even when the excitement fades. Consistency is not glamorous. It does not always bring instant rewards, but it creates momentum, and momentum is what allows a business to grow, scale, and eventually dominate. Think about how a river carves through stone. It does not do so with one powerful strike. It shapes and transforms the landscape through constant, steady flow. In the same way, consistency in business, whether it is in customer service, content creation, innovation, or leadership, gradually builds an unstoppable presence. The small, disciplined actions you take repeatedly become the habits that drive results. One great marketing campaign won't scale your business, but consistently delivering value to your audience will. One day of productivity won't transform your company, but showing up with focus and discipline every single day will. The challenge is that consistency often feels ordinary. It means doing the things you said you would do long after the motivation has disappeared. It means sticking to your vision when distractions tempt you to chase shortcuts. Many people quit not because they lack strategy, but because they lack patience. They want results too quickly, forgetting that compounding takes time. Consistency is the bridge between effort and reward, between strategy and results. Without it, even the best plan falls flat. Consistency also builds trust. Customers don't stay loyal because of one-time excellence. They stay because they can count on you to deliver again and again. A team does not believe in a leader because of one inspiring speech. They believe because the leader consistently demonstrates integrity, vision, and commitment. The marketplace rewards reliability, and reliability is born from consistency. When people know what to expect from you, they begin to trust you, and trust is the foundation upon which long-term success is built. Momentum is another gift of consistency. Once you begin to take steady action, the process becomes easier. Like pushing a heavy flywheel, it may take immense effort at first. Progress feels slow and frustrating, but with each push, the wheel moves faster and faster until it becomes nearly unstoppable. Businesses scale the same way. At first, the consistent work seems to produce little visible return, but over time, the compounding effect kicks in, and results accelerate in ways you never imagined. Consistency also strengthens resilience. When challenges come, and they always do, a consistent habit of taking action makes it easier to endure setbacks. You don't have to start from scratch each time because your foundation is already strong. Just as an athlete who trains every day is better prepared for the championship, a business that operates with consistency is better prepared to withstand storms and emerge stronger. Scaling your business is not about one lucky break or one clever strategy. It is about the discipline to keep going when others stop. It is about showing up, doing the work, and staying committed long after the excitement fades. Strategy may set the direction, but consistency fuels the journey. And if you are willing to stay the course, the momentum you build will carry you further than you ever dreamed. Culture is the heartbeat of every business, and it is the invisible power that determines whether a strategy will succeed or fail. You can have the most brilliant plan, the sharpest roadmap, and the boldest vision, but if the culture within your team is weak, toxic, or uninspired, that strategy will never come to life. Culture is what fuels execution. It is the shared set of beliefs, values, and attitudes that guide how people show up every day, how they treat one another, and how they approach challenges. Without a strong culture, scaling a business becomes almost impossible. When people feel connected to a mission, they don't just work for a paycheck, they work for a purpose. They bring energy, creativity, and commitment to every task because they believe in what the business stands for. That belief is what drives execution. A culture that prioritizes excellence pushes people to deliver their best work consistently. A culture that values innovation encourages new ideas to flow freely. A culture that celebrates resilience helps a team bounce back from setbacks without losing momentum. The right culture becomes a multiplier of effort, turning ordinary work into extraordinary results. On the other hand, a poor culture suffocates execution. Imagine a team where fear of failure is greater than the desire to grow. Imagine a workplace where people are disengaged, where leaders don't listen, and where every win feels hollow because no one truly cares. In that environment, even the best strategy will collapse. People may go through the motions, but their hearts won't be in it. And without heart, no business can scale. Culture is also contagious. The energy of a leader flows down into the team, and the energy of the team flows into the customer experience. If a company is built on trust, respect, and passion, customers can feel it in every interaction. That energy creates loyalty, and loyalty drives growth. Scaling is not just about reaching more people. It's about leaving an impression that keeps people coming back. A strong culture ensures that every touchpoint reflects the values of the business. Building culture requires intention. It does not happen by accident. Leaders must decide what they want their business to stand for and then embody those values consistently. Words are not enough. People must see the values in action. If you say integrity matters, then make decisions that prove it. If you say teamwork matters, then recognize and reward collaboration. Culture is not written on posters. It is lived out in daily actions, choices, and interactions. The beauty of culture is that once it is strong, it sustains itself. It attracts the right people and repels the wrong ones. It empowers individuals to hold one another accountable, and it creates an environment where execution becomes second nature. When culture is strong, strategy no longer feels like a burden. It feels like a shared mission that everyone is eager to bring to life. Scaling a business is ultimately about people, and people thrive in cultures that inspire them. Strategy alone cannot fuel the fire of growth, but culture can. It is the unseen engine that drives execution, keeps the team aligned, and transforms a vision on paper into a movement in reality. Every business journey is filled with challenges, obstacles, and unexpected turns. No matter how well-designed a strategy is, setbacks are inevitable. Markets change, competitors emerge, customers shift their preferences, and sometimes plans simply don't work out as intended. In these moments, the difference between businesses that collapse and those that scale lies in resilience. Resilience is the ability to keep moving forward despite adversity, to turn setbacks into lessons, and to transform failure into fuel for growth. Without resilience, even the most brilliant strategies crumble under pressure. Resilience begins with mindset. When setbacks happen, many people see them as signs to quit, as proof that they were never meant to succeed. But resilient leaders see setbacks differently. They see them as temporary, as opportunities to learn, adjust, and grow stronger. Every failure reveals something valuable, a flaw in the system, a gap in execution, or an area that needs improvement. Instead of letting failure define them, resilient people allow it to refine them. They use the pain of the setback as motivation to rise again, smarter and more prepared. In business, resilience also creates trust. When a leader demonstrates calm, determination, and persistence during difficult times, the team feels inspired to do the same. People take cues from how their leaders react under pressure. A resilient leader reassures their team that setbacks are not the end of the road, but simply part of the journey. This stability fuels execution, keeping the team motivated and focused even when circumstances are tough. A resilient culture encourages people to take risks, knowing that mistakes will not destroy them, but instead help them grow. Resilience also builds endurance. Scaling a business is not a sprint, it is a marathon. There will be moments of fatigue, frustration, and doubt, but resilience keeps you moving when others stop. It helps you maintain focus on the bigger picture, even when short-term results are disappointing. Think of it like climbing a mountain. The air gets thinner, the climb gets steeper, and exhaustion sets in. Many turn back, but the resilient keep going, step by step, until they reach the summit. That persistence is what separates those who merely start businesses from those who build lasting empires. Another power of resilience is adaptability. A rigid business breaks under pressure, but a resilient one bends, shifts, and finds new paths. When strategies fail, resilience pushes you to try again with a new approach. When the market changes, resilience empowers you to pivot without losing momentum. This flexibility keeps your vision alive, no matter what challenges arise. History shows us that many of the greatest companies today faced near collapse at some point, but their resilience carried them through. Ultimately, setbacks are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. They test your commitment, they shape your character, and they prepare you for greater opportunities. A resilient entrepreneur doesn't just survive setbacks, they thrive because of them. They know that every obstacle carries within it the seed of growth, and every challenge conquered builds strength for the future. Scaling a business will never be a smooth, straight path. There will be storms, failures, and disappointments. But if you cultivate resilience, no setback can stop you. With resilience, every fall becomes a rise, every failure becomes a lesson, and every obstacle becomes a doorway to something greater. Leadership is the force that turns vision into reality and strategy into execution. Without leadership, even the most detailed business plan remains lifeless. A leader's role is not simply to design strategy, but to inspire people to act on it, to create movement where there was once stillness, and to bring energy, direction, and belief to the entire team. Scaling a business is not only about what you know, but about how you lead others toward a shared mission. Leadership is the bridge between strategy and execution, and it is what transforms ideas into action. True leadership begins with vision. A leader must be able to see what others cannot yet see and communicate that vision in a way that excites and energizes people. When a leader speaks with clarity and conviction, the team begins to believe that the impossible is possible. Vision lights the path, but leadership is the torchbearer that makes others want to follow. Without that inspiration, people may understand the strategy, but feel no urgency to bring it to life. It is leadership that makes the strategy matter. But leadership is more than words, it is example. A leader cannot ask for commitment without first showing it. They cannot demand resilience if they are not resilient themselves. Teams do not follow instructions, they follow behavior. When leaders consistently demonstrate discipline, integrity, and passion, their team reflects those qualities back. Leadership by example creates trust, and trust creates movement. People are far more willing to execute a strategy when they believe in the character of the one leading them. Leadership also empowers others. No business scales on the shoulders of one person alone. A true leader knows how to delegate, how to develop people, and how to unleash the potential within the team. They don't hoard power, they multiply it by empowering others to take ownership. When team members feel trusted, valued, and responsible, they give more of themselves to the mission. This shared ownership creates collective momentum, turning strategy into a living, breathing force that carries the entire organization forward. Great leadership also means guiding people through uncertainty. Every business journey has moments of doubt and fear, but leaders provide stability. They are the steady voice in the storm, the reminder of why the mission matters, and the spark of hope when the fire feels like it's fading. Leadership does not eliminate challenges, but it gives people the courage to face them head on. This courage transforms hesitation into action, and action is what fuels growth. Most importantly, leadership creates culture. A leader's values shape the environment of the business. If a leader promotes collaboration, respect, and innovation, the culture will reflect it. If a leader tolerates negativity, excuses, or mediocrity, the culture will decay. Culture, in turn, fuels execution, and execution is what scales a business. In this way, leadership is not just about directing people. It is about shaping the very environment where people thrive. Scaling a business is never about strategy alone. It is about movement, and movement requires leadership. A leader inspires, sets the example, empowers others, and builds a culture where strategy comes alive. When leadership is strong, teams rise, ideas flow, execution accelerates, and the vision expands. Leadership is the heartbeat of growth, the spark of action, and the force that turns dreams into realities. Scaling a business is not just about working harder, it is about working smarter. Many entrepreneurs believe that if they just put in more hours or hire more people, their business will grow automatically. But without systems in place, growth quickly becomes chaos. Systems are the structures, processes, and habits that allow a business to run efficiently and consistently, even without constant supervision. They are the engine that drives scale. A strategy may point you in the right direction, but systems ensure that you can actually travel the distance without burning out. Systems create order from complexity. In the early stages of a business, it may be possible to manage everything with sheer willpower and hustle. But as a business grows, so does the number of customers, employees, and moving parts. Without systems, cracks begin to show, deadlines are missed, communication breaks down, customers become dissatisfied, and opportunities slip away. A system prevents this by creating repeatable processes that keep everything aligned. For example, a clear onboarding system for new employees ensures they integrate smoothly. A customer service system guarantees that clients receive the same level of care every time. These structures free leaders from micromanagement and allow the business to function like a well-oiled machine. The beauty of systems is that they create consistency. Customers don't just want a great experience once, they want it every time. A system ensures that quality does not depend on chance or on the mood of a single employee, but on a process that delivers reliability. Consistency builds trust, and trust builds loyalty. Over time, that loyalty becomes the foundation for growth. Systems also empower teams. When there is clarity on how things should be done, people feel more confident in their roles. They know what is expected and how to deliver it. This reduces confusion, increases efficiency, and allows people to focus on creative problem solving rather than wasting energy on repetitive decisions. A strong system does not limit creativity. It removes the noise so innovation can thrive. Another power of systems is scalability itself. If you rely on individual effort alone, your growth will always be limited by time and energy. But when you put systems in place, the business can grow beyond you. You don't have to be involved in every sale, every interaction, or every decision. Systems allow you to replicate success again and again. They are the difference between a business that depends on its founder and one that can thrive independently. Even resilience is strengthened by systems. When setbacks occur, a well-designed system prevents the entire business from collapsing. Instead of scrambling to react, you have processes that guide your response. This stability keeps the business moving forward, even during challenges. Scaling is not about doing everything yourself. It is about building structures that carry the vision forward. Strategy gives you the plan, but systems make it possible to live that plan daily. They are the invisible backbone of growth, the silent drivers of consistency, and the reason some businesses expand smoothly while others crumble under their own weight. If you want to scale, don't just rely on ideas. Build systems that will multiply your impact.